All right, so thank you for tuning into the show. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're having a great day, night, whenever you're checking this out. But I wanted to talk about the Premier League. Season started last week, so each team has played 2 games so far. But in those 2 games, so much has happened in the Premier League that it's just setting up to be a compelling season where if the rest of the season goes how the first 2 games have gone so far for these teams, it's going to be wildly unpredictable. And some teams may finish, where they weren't predicted to finish. And I think it's going to make for compelling storylines as we go. Now, of course, the most notable team that people have been kind of focusing on has been Manchester United for good reason. I'll probably save that for another episode, but I wanted to focus in on a game that happened this past Wednesday where there's kind of been a lot of talk about the game since then, and I kind of want to give my 2 cents about it. So of course the episode, talk about Chelsea-Tottenham, kind of what happened in the game, what has everybody talking so much about the game, and why I can't wait for the rematch in late February between both teams. So with that, let's go ahead, talk about this matchup, and yeah, let's have some fun. So, like I said, Chelsea-Tottenham, both teams who in the preseason, these are 2 teams that are expected to be fighting for the top 4, of course, along with Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, that group, depending who how you feel, Manchester United, West Ham maybe, but Chelsea-Tottenham are, 2 clubs that over the past few years have been steadily top 4 or 5 in the table. So for this being the second game of the season, it's a statement game for both teams. And like I said, it's the London Derby. So that means it's a big deal within London with these 2 teams. And I mean, the matchup was exciting. I mean, we got a world-class goal from Koulibaly in the 19th minute off of a corner from Cucurella into the box, and Koulibaly took it off to his right side, half volley, nailed it into the back of the net, and that got everything going. I mean, Tuchel was pumped at this point, and we were off and running. Crowd was amazing. And, that was the only goal of the first half, but the second half gave so much more as we got 3 goals in the second half. Tottenham, of course, at this point, chasing an equalizer. And there was, I guess, maybe the first bit of controversy where Chelsea was on the attack, but the attacking player was tackled by a Tottenham defender. It looked like an obvious foul to me. Once it showed the replay, it was. The defender got him on the leg and not actually on the ball. But in that, Chelsea players were complaining to the ref, looking for a call. Tuchel on the touchline, he was losing his mind. And then what made it worse was in the run of play going the other way, Tottenham actually got the equalizer goal from Højbjerg off of semi-broken play where Chelsea had a chance to clear it but couldn't get it out. And then in the scramble, it found its way to Højbjerg on his right foot, and he hit a great low shot into the far corner, back of the net. So it's now a 1-1 draw. So now we're looking at it as maybe this is how it's going to end up. Both teams getting chances because they had that all game long. There was near misses, saves from goalkeepers on breakaways. So there was plenty of opportunities in this matchup. And this was one of those games where, if you're a person or somebody who finds soccer maybe boring or whatever, this is the game to show them, because this game was anything but boring. But so back to the action. Tottenham couldn't really celebrate the Højbjerg goal too long because less than 10 minutes later, kind of a breakdown defensively from Tottenham with Sterling dishing it off to Reece James to his right. Open net, no defender in his way, and he buried it. So at this point, Tuchel now runs down the touchline to celebrate with his team. He's into it. And, I think kind of rub it into Conte's face, the Tottenham coach, because, they're up 2-1, 77, 78 minute, looking like maybe that was the winner. Now, fast forward to extra time and into the 6th minute of, I believe, the posted 6 minutes of extra time. Tottenham has a corner and they have a near miss, but the attention was turned to Cucurella because Ramiro, I believe, from Tottenham got a hold of his hair, dragged him to the ground. The official blew the whistle, went in, talked to both players. So at this point, I'm wondering, is there going to be a yellow card? Does Ramiro get a straight red? Because it was blatant. He blatantly, grabbed his ponytail and dragged him to the ground. So I thought there had to be a card. I was expecting a red card. Turns out they get nothing. He just talked to them, kind of gave them a warning, and they went back. I don't know, maybe because with the time left, maybe the official didn't want to, send a player off. I don't know. It was seen a little odd, but like I said, in the official's mind, the upcoming corner for Tottenham was probably going to be the last play of the game. Well, luckily Tottenham got one more opportunity at it because subsequent cross comes in. Harry Kane makes a great run near post and gets ahead to the ball, back heads it into the far corner. It glances in off of a Chelsea defender's thigh and it goes in. So now Kane is, running mad over towards Tottenham section of the stadium. They're celebrating. Conte's fist pumping in the air. Kind of, I believe he was looking in Tuchel's direction. And, we end up with a 2-2 draw, which was, both teams did deserve a point, so I wasn't really mad at the result. But it was just a great game all around. Now, you would think final whistle blows. Now you can kind of, breathe and everything. You figure it's going to be over right now. It's not. Because Conte, Tuchel come together, shake hands at the end of the match. Problem is, neither one lets go. So now they're face to face at this point. And I'm like, okay, we're getting a little bit extra here. Assistants come in, some players come in to try to separate the two of them. They get them apart, but they're still, jawing at each other. Now, I believe the broadcast said that Conte got a red card for I guess, the dust up for whatever reason. Which, with all the antics from both guys on the sideline all game, I found it weird if that's true that Conte got a red after the fact, but it is what it is. So, we have that. Conte goes out. Tuchel's still out on the field, high-fiving his players and all that, looking into the crowd and stuff. And then he finally exits. But, all the talk after the game was about, Tuchel, Conte. Some people were like, was it good for this, game or whatever? Was it embarrassing, blah, 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 whatever. To me, I say no. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was entertaining. It brought emotion to the game. It wasn't necessarily way over the top. Yeah, they got face to face, whatever, but I loved it. Thought it was great. I love seeing stuff like that. As long as it doesn't cross a line where, somebody throws a punch or something. That didn't happen. They trash talked. Like I said, got nose to nose basically Although Conte's a little shorter, but loved it. And for me, it just builds intrigue for the rematch end of February. I believe February 25th is when the two meet again. Hopefully both teams are doing well and relatively healthy at that point, because I'm fully expecting that game to get a lot of attention now. And like I said, I want them to be near the top of the table, so there's more meaning and everything built into the game. Now, sure, it's still months away. By the time we get there, who knows? Both coaches maybe have forgotten the whole thing. I doubt it, but you never know. And I don't feel like it took away from the game at all. Because like I said, Koulibaly's strike was easily the best goal of the season so far. And I mean, it might hold up all season. It was that good of a play. Because it's difficult to, get on the end of a cross. You have defenders and attacking players jumping up, trying to head the ball, and they miss it. So now it comes to you, and you time it. I mean, he timed it perfectly on his right foot. Boom, back of the net. That, I'm not going to forget that goal because of Conte and, Tuchel, what they were doing. Not at all. And Harry Kane's goal, last moments of the game, that header, incredible. Because like I said, it was a back header, basically back to the goal, and he just flicked it on, and it found its way into the net. So that's another thing. That's kind of a line where I'm talking about sideline stuff. If it doesn't take away from the action that's actually out there on the court, field, pitch, whatever sport you're talking about, I'm here for it. So I loved it. I hope there isn't any, extra punishment that comes from it. I don't think I've seen anything. Like I said, the game was this past Wednesday. It's been some days now. It's almost been a week, and I don't remember hearing anything. So assuming nothing else came of it, but I mean, it's what makes the Premier League great. You have these built-in rivalries, whether it's Manchester Derby, London Derby, like I talked about here, or whatever. The games are just compelling, and star quality is up there all the time. Now, like I said, this season has been odd in some ways as a starting point, because looking at the top of the table, like I said, it's only been 2 games, but I mean, you have teams like Brentford, Newcastle, and Leeds up in the top 6. And then if you take a look at the bottom of the table, Manchester United is at the very bottom. Once again, only 2 games, so 36 to go. So plenty of time to turn it around. But like I said, I'll save Manchester United for another episode, because trust me, they deserve their own episode with the way that they're playing right now. But yeah, like I said, hopefully by the time that game rolls around February, both teams are in top form. Right there on Man City's neck. I'm fully expecting Man City to be there for the whole season, barring injury, of course. That's for any sport. But like I said, Chelsea, Tottenham, definitely the matchup so far of the early season. Not only because of Tuchel and Conte, but the play on the pitch is great. And yeah, hopefully we get more stuff like this throughout the season. I loved it. Loved every second of that game. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts on that matchup. So let me know what you think. Did you see the match? If not, after my little explanation of everything. Are you going to go check out the highlights or full match replay after hearing all this? Let me know. If you did see the match, do you think Conte and Tuchel went overboard, or did you love everything about it like I did? And also, how great was that goal by Koulibaly? I mean, I still see it right now, and it was just world class. But thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, you know what you got to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, go over to Twitter, follow me at Chompin' Podcast. And if you go over there, make sure, like I said, hit the follow button. I'll follow you back. We can interact and all that. You know, when I do see goals like the Koulibaly one, might tweet about it and we can talk about stuff like that. Go back and forth. But really do appreciate you guys tuning in. And as I always say, be safe out there. God bless. And I'll catch you on the next episode. All right, I'm out. Enjoy your day.